reclassified, right? He reclassified up from a junior to a senior, so he's only been in high school for 3 years. And there's the man that will lead the Chancellors. That is Sam Harris, has been on the job for about a year and a half. Took over last January because of health issues with the current coach. And he's been longtime friends with Gilbert Arenas. Meantime, on the other ledger, a guy you know pretty well. You helped him out. This is Tim Kelly in his 7th year as the head coach for Jesuit.
I served as a volunteer assistant on Tim Kelly's undefeated Jesuit team, JV team, a number of years ago. He dumped me, and look at where the guy is now. See, this is a good thing. When you lose me, you soar. You go to different heights.
Got it. About ready to jump here. Jesuit's going to be in white. It'll be the Chancellors of Chatsworth in all dark for Jesuit. Asher Schrader is about to jump against Taj Ana'akalu. Second ever title game for Chatsworth. You tend to forget until Nikki mentioned it. They were here last year and lost in Division 4 to Monterey, so they're up 2 levels. Elijah Arenas had the 44. And as mentioned, Jesuit, who has it first, their campus 12 miles west of the Golden One Center. Marauders are here for the 3rd time. And both games that they have lost prior, ironically, have come against LA City section teams. They're hoping the 3rd time is a charm here. First possession for Chatsworth. Back when Jesuit last played 93-94, came up against those Crenshaw teams at the Oakland Coliseum. Inside and muscling it up for the bucket right there is Ana'akalu. This, by the way, is his 3rd prep contest this week. 2 basketball games, and then on Wednesday he played in a huge volleyball game against El Camino Real. Came in, I'm told, and had a huge kill when it was tied at 23.
Tremendous athlete, getting it done. Hit, find, and go get it is his mantra on the rebounding side of things.
Mason Phillips unleashes and misses. And it's going to stick with Jesuit. All right, here's Bill Horrendous' keys to the game.
Yeah, so when you take a look at the scenario for Chatsworth, trust your stuff and tenacious D. Can your defense lead to easy points? For Jesuit, leverage that home court, and we cannot be naive. Contain Arenas. You can't stop them. You can never stop the great ones, but you can strive to contain them.
Calling for it inside was Luke Brown. Then it's back out to Phillips. He drives, and a whistle and a foul. Ana'akalu thought he got all ball.
Now, even if this is a foul, Ana'akalu, he almost fouled his own guy more than he fouled the Jesuit shooter. But it sends a message early, kind of like on that volleyball court, Steve, which you're familiar with. And Ana'akalu, a major part of the Chatsworth team. Of course, their mantra is sacrifice, commitment, consistency under Coach Sam Harris.
Solomon Torres had the foul, which sends Mason Phillips, a 6'3" freshman guard, to the line, where he makes both of them. Even at 2, early going, CIF Boys Division II State Championship game.
Now Jesuit in the zone. They started man-to-man, giving Chatsworth some different looks.
I don't think I've seen a touch yet to Arenas. Calling for it. There's the touch. A couple of defenders come up high as they push him back onto the Kings logo. Shot clock down to 5. Arenas lets it go from the baseline, and he's 18 points away from 3,000 career points.
Good patience by Chatsworth against the zone. Schrader was checking Arenas' first possession. Different look from Coach Kelly.
Here's Brown, 6'2" senior wing. Over to Schrader, who lets it fly, missed back iron, and Arenas has the rebound. He'll get over 7 of those a game. Spins, throws it down onto the baseline. Torres got it off to Ana'akalu, and it gets stolen. That's the first turnover of the game for Chatsworth. Here's Brown driving, and a takeaway. Nice steal, good defense down in the low post by the Chancellor.
Yeah, that's the tenacious, vexing, rallying defense of Chatsworth.
They come in at 26-8. LA City section champs there. And that's a 3.
Phillips cashing in. Obviously, Steve, you've got to make Chatsworth feel you had a little bit too much room on that jumper.
Phillips is a sophomore, averages almost 10 points per game. He's scoring. Turning the corner to the left hand. Brandon Williams missed the shot. Here's Arenas, guarded by Schrader. Over Schrader, fires, misses. Rebound, Mason Phillips.
This is a Jesuit team that started the season at 3-3, exceeding expectations. Under Tim Kelly, this team congealing with the seniors.
And I would say 91% of the crowd is going to be theirs. Not much, not like what Stockton Lincoln had last night. I mean, they had a whole lower bowl was full. And there's a block shot, and again, it's Ana Akalu. That's what we call the tool. He tooled it right there. The volleyball turn. Brown gets
it. Notice the good transition defense by Chatsworth.
Inside for the big. That's Amori McKinney. And a break in the action. Well, the LA City section's all-time leading scorer has 2. He's 18 points shy of a perfect 3,000 for his career. The McDonald's All-American, Elijah Arenas. Chancellors out of the LA City section looking for their first ever state championship. They lost on this floor to Monterey in Division 4, 2 levels down last season. Elijah Arenas had 44. It's their second ever title game appearance. You love these stories. It's been a long time since the LA City section has broken through. And it's been a long time since the LA City section has been able to retain a player of that caliber. Normally, Elijah Arenas is playing at, you know, the Harvard Westlakes of the world, the Sierra Canyons, or Mater Dei, or St. John Bosco. He'll play all 3 years as he's classed up at Chatsworth High School. Good on him. His sister played at Sierra Canyon. She's now a freshman at Louisville. Drive there by Amori McKinney. And we're going to have a whistle and a foul.
And McKinney is a kid who has really grown and developed. Remember, Jesuit, Festus Azili back in the day, toiled at Jesuit High School. Now, of course, a former Warrior doing a great job on their pre- and post-game shows. Jesuit a little 2-2-1 here, Steve.
They're 0 for 6 to begin the proceedings here. And Arenas trying to go to work through the double team. Passes it out, taking the shot is Phillips. He had made a 3 earlier, he missed it. Offensive rebound, second chance opportunity doesn't go. And Brown comes away with the basketball. Streaking in transition, gives it to Mason Phillips, and he's hammered.
So now in transition, Arenas. Now, the kid is prolific, the numbers, the scoring, but notice the defensive effort and intensity, skying a basket protector in this occasion. And of course, Steve, at the next level, at any level, it's so important to be a two-way player, attack your offensive game with the diligence that's necessary, but also defensively to have that effort to be a two-way player.
Aaron Kruger is going to come in. He'll spell Solomon Torres. Phillips makes it 7-4.
Phillips with all 4 of the Marauders' points to this juncture.
Yeah, and all 4 from the free throw line. You can't survive against anybody just scoring at the free throw line. We're inside of 3 minutes to go in this opening quarter. They don't have a field goal yet. Phillips. A touch here by Elijah Miller. Arenas got a big size advantage on Phillips. Bounce pass on the baseline and trying to make the extra pass was Kruger, and he turned it over.
Good defensive possession by Jesuit, throwing multiple bodies at Arenas out of the zone.
Oh, streaking there is a Murray McKinney. How about Amori McKinney, man? He's starting just to see some big-time playing time. He just got in shape over the summer. Barely made the freshman team, we're told. Look at him now. First made field goal for Jesuit in the state championship game. And fouled is Elijah Arenas.
And this was a really good sequence. Schrader had the steal, and then the gorgeous cut by McKinney. And so magnanimous, Williams finds him with the dish as the Marauders, on the other end, sending Arenas to the free throw line. Of course, you'd like to live up to the mantra of defending without fouling. But Arenas, a major conundrum for the opposition.
So here's the 17-year-old McDonald's All-American, bound for USC, listed at 6'8", again reclassified up to a senior so that he can start his college career earlier and perhaps his National Basketball Association career as well. And we have 4 McDonald's All-Americans, do you and I, in our last 3 games here.
And we
may be 5.
And we eat at McDonald's, but they got the accolades, Steve.
And there's a 3. Asher Schrader, 6'5" senior guard. Drawn a lot of Division II interest, NAI interest. He averages 17 points, 8 rebounds a game.
And you were on an early partner. There's no substitute for the ball going through the basket. Good energy by Jesuit now in the zone again.
Jesuit has the early lead, 90 seconds to go. They try and throw it inside. Una Akalu shows his strength to keep it alive. Out to Arenas. Kick it back out. Kruger lets it fly. Kruger hits the 3. Well contested as well.
That was a clutch bucket by Kruger. Arenas had everyone but the Jesuit band on him. They're throwing multiple bodies. And Kruger comes through offensively.
He only averages 4 a game. He gets 3 there. He just subbed in for Solomon Torres here a moment ago. And here's a wing 3 taken by McKinney. And it's going to be Chancellor's basketball.
So we see Jesuit here attacking. Great kick out to Schrader from Phillips. And on the other end, Kruger says, I'm a threat when I get off the bus. You're worried about Arenas, you better worry about me.
That's right.
As well.
Only 2 team fouls per side. Arenas has 1 foul that you saw earlier. Got a couple of good looks at it. There's that zone moving, trying to slow down a guy that scored 44 on this floor last time he played about a year ago in a losing effort. 10 to shoot. Meantime, Jesuit was last on this floor not too long ago and got knocked off in a section championship game. So they got a sour taste in their mouth as Arenas from the baseline. He's just so good.
Yeah, that was DeMar DeRozan-like. It gets the zone, he just gets to his spot, baseline, elevation, so skilled, gorgeous move.
I know Gilbert Arenas is here. Somebody told us DeMar DeRozan's actually coming. I know the charter landed from Phoenix last night a little past 1. Here's a deep 3 by Brown. Offensive rebound and a heady idea to put it up by Schrader, but he missed. And after 1 quarter of play in this boys Division II state title game, the Chatsworth Chancellors 13, Jesuit Marauders 9 from Sacramento. 5 points for Arenas. Elijah Arenas in the first quarter. Chatsworth with a 4-point advantage over Jesuit. Arenas is the McDonald's All-American in this game. There were 4 California-based McDonald's All-American. We'll see Braden Burries in the Open Division Championship game for Roosevelt. That's coming up at 8. Nick Hamenya from Harvard Westlake, who's headed to Duke, and then Tunde Yesufu, St. Joseph's, who will matriculate at Baylor next season. And then don't forget the game after us, the Etiwanda girls against Mitty, going to have McDonald's All-Americans on the girls' side with Grace Knox, Puff Morris, and had she not gotten hurt, McKenna Wolichko would have been one. She was the freshman and sophomore player of the year in the United States, and will be a McDonald's All-American next year if she stays healthy. So, quite the McDonald's All-American day, huh?
Without a doubt, tremendous talent throughout the day and evening from Sacramento.
Elijah Arenas 15 points away from 3,000 career points, rewriting the record books in the LA City section. Matter of fact, he passed his dad not too long ago. His dad, Gilbert, is in attendance, is 5th all-time in the LA City section, having played at Grant High School in Van Nuys. That must have been a wonderful meal. I wonder if he brought him on the podcast to discuss.
Bragging rights for the scion of Gilbert.
Saving that one for Jesuit was Shahib Randhawa, who was a starter at the beginning of the year, but then got displaced with an injury. Had a broken hand, broken left hand, that's still bundled up and bandaged up, and that's a badly needed 3. Jack Walker off the bench. Walker, rather.
Great production by Walker, immediately contributing.
Here's a 3 against that zone by Arenas. He misfired. Offensive rebound, a putback won't go from Elijah Miller. Arenas gets it, goes downhill, little Euro step, and he's got 7.
Now that is the 5th offensive rebound by the Chancellors. Like UB Brown says, the key cardinal rule of the NBA playoffs, you must control your defensive board. That'll be a big topic for Coach Kelly during the next media break.
Arenas with the 7 averages 30 points a game. One possession game for the tie, and it's good. Oh, this is Carson Keplinger. How about these guys coming off the bench and providing a spark for the Marauders?
There is no drop-off for Jesuit.
Wow.
With Walker and Keplinger making a huge immediate impact. The microwaves making it happen.
Even at 15, that's going to be a turnover, and they got to hustle to try and get back, and it's going to be out. And that's going to wind up being a dead ball turnover. Could have been a live ball turnover, and disastrous for the Chancellors.
Now the great equalizer, the 3-ball, and the Jesuit continued here to their delectation. Look at Brown finding an open Keplinger.
This is that game where you look a lot when the box score comes out at halftime at the end of the third quarter, the plus and minus, because the likes of Keplinger and Walker, or Wacker if you're just starting out in the business. Here's McKinney underneath, guarded by Arenas, whose defense has actually been better of late, but winning that battle is McKinney in his 6'6" senior frame.
Now notice how Jesuit is making threes. You want to push them off the 3-point line, and then they get good looks inside. And it's vital that they get McKinney involved.
There's a steal, ahead it goes, and an easy lay-in for Luke Brown, and a timeout called by Chatsworth. Nice little run here for the Jesuit Marauders. Getting it done. Defense leading to offense, Bill.
Now look at McKinney squaring up, going at Arenas. The poise in the post, pump fakes, and converts. And now Walker comes in, Keplinger, into the game. He was swishing early, now dishing. Brown's finishing, Coach Harris and the Chancellors talking it over.
7-0 scoring run in the last 58 seconds for Jesuit. You see their school profile, 26-9. The campus is 12 miles to the east of us here in Carmichael. And out of the Sac Joaquin section, and they recently played on this floor, lost in the Division II section title game to Rockland, and they lost at the end. Oak Ridge and Elk Grove are the only local area teams to win a Division II state title. So they're flying the banner of the Sac Joaquin section. That's doing a good job so far.
Absolutely. 7-0 Jesuit run as they're up 4 here.
Arenas lets it go. Let's check in with Nikki.
A lot of discussion during Chatsworth huddle just about recognizing the coverage that Jesuit is showing and to not panic, to be patient and kick the ball across if needed to when coming over the timeline, guys.
Thank you, Nikki. Just inside of 5 minutes to go here in quarter number 2.
Yeah, remember, Jesuit started in man, has gone zone. It's been effective. It has thwarted the Chancellor's offense.
It's going to get a corner 3, and it's good. How about Aaron Kruger coming off the bench and delivering 2 key threes in the first half.
Now, you cannot practice egalitarian defense and treat everyone the same. You know Kruger is feeling it. You must test.
And there's a block by Arenas, and he's going to take it away. A 1-on-2, and a blocking foul is going to be called. He was getting downhill, and Brown got in front of him, and Brown's going to get called for the foul.
So now Kruger busting the zone from the right corner, 3, and a nice block by Arenas on Schrader. He gets out in transition. Good call by the officials. Looked like Brown was still moving, not in legal guarding position. Before the shot, yep. Chancellor's baseline out of bounds.
Yeah. In quick inbound here, quick shot up, and it's good. Solomon Torres got some college offers, averages shade under 5 points a game. Back out in front go the Chatsworth Chancellors. Beat Bakersfield Christian Tuesday to win the Division II SoCal Regional title game. Brandon Williams. Don't you wish you had that hair, huh?
I do.
McKinney hit the side of the backboard, and coming away with it is the lanky Arenas trying to get downhill. Gets it back, little head fake. Oh, what a move by Elijah Arenas. That's why he scores 30 a game.
Yeah, can't teach that.
And on the other end, a quick score.
It's a great job by Jesuit pushing on misses, makes off turnovers.
And now Arenas, and this one, he starts getting in a flow. This one from the foul line. There's not much that can stop Arenas.
That is a cause for concern, Steve. You're absolutely right. When he starts to percolate, this is a guy who's ready to eclipse 3,000 tonight.
9 away from it. He might get it in the final 2:55 here, the way he's percolating. To the corner, McKinney open for a catch-and-shoot 3, and down it goes. Wow, he averages 11 points a game. This McKinney's got 9 in the first half.
Jesuit 4 of 10 from downtown, the great equalizer.
Arenas doubled up top. Torres back to Arenas. Here comes the double team, now the triple team. Not a bad idea. Stop a guy that averages 30 a game. Cross-court pass leaves Miller open, in and out. And the rebound, McKinney's not take that. With authority. He gets 5 of those a game. That might have counted. That might have been a 5-point rebound right there.
Great avarice by McKinney.
In my quiz analytics, that was emphatic, and a foul up high by Elijah Miller. Well, Arenas is 9 points away from 3,000 career points. And to think the kid will have done it in just 3 years of high school ball. 24-24. Dead even in the CIF Boys Division II State Championship game. Steve Quist, Bill Horrenda, Nikki K with you. CIF Boys Division II State Championship game. All tie between the Chatsworth Chancellors and the Jesuit Marauders from up here in the Sacramento area. Chatsworth, talked about them being 26-8. Charter type school, enrollment around 1,700 out of the LA City section. You don't get a lot of LA City section teams that get up here anymore. Used to have the Crenshaws and the Fairfaxes, but it's a different sport these days with all the parochial schools and charter schools coming on.
And speaking with Coach Harris, Steve, we talked about getting consecutive multiple stops, 3 in a row, commonly referred to as kills or turkeys.
Yeah.
Who's going to grab the steering wheel of this tied state championship game? Under 2 minutes to go now, second quarter.
The Chatsworth, the only boys team with a return engagement to Sacramento this year, if you can believe that.
Coach Harris going zone now.
And there is the foul challenge, Mason Phillips with a big 3. He had 2 quick fouls, so he wasn't on the floor a lot in the first half. Reestablishing a 3-point lead for Jesuit.
Just a freshman, very precocious.
And a steal. Picked there by Williams on the run out. Rolls it in. Brandon Williams, a junior.
Williams with alacrity, the focus and concentration in transition.
10-2 scoring run, 5-point lead. A drive here by Elijah Miller. He enrolled this fall at Chatsworth.
And here's the zone. But of course, Phillips has got an answer. And then in transition, Williams with a tremendous focus using the glass.
He's already made 5 of 11 threes. The first one is missed by Miller. Miller will get a second one here. He's the brother of LSU freshman Victorious Miller. 2 played together at Crean Lutheran in Irvine. So Miller's bounced around enrolling this fall at Chatsworth, and a good complimentary piece for Elijah Arenas and Taj Una Akalu. Final minute of the second quarter, 4-point game.
Get 2-3 look by the Chancellors.
It's going to get out to the corner. Phillips gets it. Bounce pass down to the baseline, went to Schrader. Schrader's been quiet. Schrader just has 3. Speaking of threes, Brown missed that 3. And we're going to have a foul underneath on the rebound attempt by Arenas. I think this is going on Schrader. That's the first on Schrader. Got him on the face.
Yeah, officials all over it.
What a hot shooting second quarter so far for Jesuit. They made 8 of 11 shots and 4 of their 5 threes in this second quarter.
Absolutely incendiary, Steve.
And remember, they started their first 4 points, all came from the free throw line. Phillips, and we thought, are they ever going to make a field goal? Missing their first 6 and haven't missed much since.
And that's been a huge confidence boost. Their body language, once they started making shots, it improved their defensive intensity.
And that 3 missed. This will count if it goes by Phillips, and it almost went. Wow, that would have sent Jesuit into the locker room with a 7-point advantage. Instead, the Marauders have a 4-point lead, and what a second quarter for Jesuit from nearby Carmichael. Shot the lights out. 5 lead changes, 3 ties in this first half, and here's Nikki with Tim Kelly.
All right, Coach, a back and forth first half, but the shot is falling for you guys. How happy are you with your offense through 2?
Thought we got off the slow start. We weren't sharing the ball, maybe a little too amped up, nervous a little bit, but we settled into the game.
And the defensive intensity you guys are bringing to the game, what do you make of that so far?
It's a championship game. You got to play defense.
All right, thanks, Coach.
Thanks, Nikki. Thanks, Tim. Yeah, little nerves. They were 2 for their first 12 from the field before getting red hot in that second quarter of play. As we head to the break, CIF Boys Division II State Championship game. Jesuit with a 4-point lead over the Chatsworth Chancellors. McDonald's All-American Elijah Arenas has 11 first-half points, 9 away from a cool 3,000 in his career, but his Chancellors trail this boys Division II state championship game to local favorite Jesuit, 29-25 Marauders at the half. Well, when your campus is only 12 miles away, you can bring the band. They're pretty good. They've been playing throughout this halftime, and they're liking what they're seeing so far. Jesuit, with a hot shooting second quarter, has a 4-point lead here in this boys Division II state championship game against the Chancellors of Chatsworth and their McDonald's All-American in Elijah Arenas, who has 11 first-half points, just 9 shy away from a cool 3,000 for his career.
Yeah, Jesuit has done a nice job of containing him, but of course, we got a lot of basketball coming up in front of us. And here we see Arenas baseline, elevating, soft touch. Again, Jesuit playing a lot of zone, but he's finding spots, getting to his spots and elevating, much like DeMar DeRozan. Here he is, Euro step, finishing, scoring in a variety of ways. Such a great feel for the game.
Yeah, it's funny when we talked to their head coach, Sam Harris. He said, we don't really have a lot of plays for him. Now, Jesuit was talking about 67% shooting in that second quarter. They made 4 threes. That's the great equalizer.
Yeah,
huh?
It really is, Steve. They struggled 17% from the floor in the first quarter, but then came out sizzling from downtown. You see the numbers there.
And our first half stats, 50% shooting for Chatsworth, and still find themselves down by 4 points. Only 1 turnover for Jesuit in that first half. Wow, you're going to win a lot of games. You can continue doing that. Boys Division II state championship game. There's the McDonald's All-American talking to his 3-time NBA All-Star dad. 916 is representing today. Jesuit with a 4-point lead. Boys Division II state title game. Moments ago, Nikki with Sam Harris, the Chatsworth head coach.
All right, Coach, let's start with the turnovers. 5 turnovers in the first half. They've got 8 points off of them. Is there an underlying theme to these turnovers?
We got to take care of the ball. Most of the turnovers came in the second quarter, too. Just lazy passes, flat passes, not really making hard passes, not dribbling to make a pass. So just some silly stuff that we have to clean up.
And defensively, Jesuit getting hot there in the second quarter. Where will your priorities be here in the second half?
Just to make it tough for them. We're going to switch some things up a little bit. They made some tough shots, some driving kicks that they got. Some other guys that were making shots, you know, we just got to adjust and make every shot tough. We ran the shot clock down a couple times, but we missed some rebounds, and then they got a second chance again. So some of that happened off of those second opportunities, so just try to eliminate that.
All right, thanks for your time, Coach.
Thank you, guys.
Jesuit with the basketball to open up the third quarter of play. Here's Phillips with a nice first half, and the threes continue. You're old enough to remember that song, It's Raining Men, right? So today it's raining threes. Hallelujah, it's raining threes.
The freshman has got 10. You add McKinney's 9. They've accounted for 19 of Jesuit's 32 points.
Here's Arenas. Oh, he got some instruction from his dad at half. He's got 13, 7 away from 3,000 in his career.
Never a question of if, just a question of when Arenas is going to erupt.
He had a 56-point game earlier this season at the Classic of Damien. He averaged 40 points in that tournament and a quick bucket, Brandon Williams.
Now Williams off the flex cut. A great dish as well. Jesuit executing offensively. Brown with the dish.
So the two teams trade buckets to begin this third quarter. Inside it goes. Little body bump there by the volleyball player, Una Akalu, and an empty possession for the Chancellor. You can't, when you look at Una Akalu, you can't imagine that he just didn't really like basketball. He loved volleyball. They said he had 1 foot in, 1 foot out the last few years with basketball. Got such great size. And going to get a takeaway. That's just the second turnover of the game for Jesuit. They had 1 over 16 minutes first half. Big crossover by Arenas, and he knows how to get himself to the line, huh? Or at least get fouled.
Now, both teams in the first half, 10 field goals made, 9 of them assisted. We see good inside out here. Jesuit touching the paint and getting a 3, and here a flex cut. Brown finding a cutting Williams. Gorgeous execution by Coach Kelly's Marauders.
Brandon Williams with the foul for Jesuit.
And Nicky's on the case, Steve as well. Jesuit converting those 5 turnovers in the first half by the Chancellors into 8 points. It was a 20-12 second quarter for the Marauders, after they trailed by 4 after the first stanza.
Arenas makes 1 of 2. 6 points shy of 3,000 for his career. Not this game, or that would be a record.
Now the Chancellors in man-to-man defense, like Coach Harris told Nicky, different looks being deployed.
This is Luke Brown. Here's a 3 on the way. Missed there by Brandon Williams. Arenas streaking up the floor. And the defenders get to him to slow up his process.
You are on
Progress,
it.
yep.
You are on it, partner. Transition defense, a major factor. You see 4 or 5 white jerseys, make it difficult for Arenas. That's a good containment proposition by Jesuit.
And Arenas only has 1 assist. Got it on the baseline. Now he spins, turns, throws it up, and gets it. He's got 16. 34-30.
Now that's just the thing of beauty. So crafty, Arenas.
Headed to USC, McDonald's All-American. A lot think he'll be a one and done after his 1 year with Eric Musselman.
Yeah, Coach Musselman wants him immediately.
Yeah. Then he reclassed up. He's 17 years old. Here's Luke Brown, and he missed it. Little heat check on the 3 there for Jesuit. But a good idea nonetheless. He averages 8 points a game. Knocks down big threes, says his coach. a foul on the other end.
Now, Steve, you're so right. You hear guys like Jeff Van Gundy talk about this all the time. You cannot judge a shot necessarily by the outcome. And here's Arenas, so crafty, shifting gears, finding the right spot. So good at decision-making. Coach Harris talking about his leadership as well, his growth, impacting the game.
Stopping the floater. That was Miller, missed it, but there is Akalu. Wow, he originally committed to play volleyball at CSUN, which is a great program in the Big West. You're talking a perennial top 20 team, as every Big West men's volleyball program is each year. But now he's kind of on the fence. Do I do volleyball? Do I do basketball?
He may have to do both.
Yeah.
Akalu.
He did both this week.
There you go.
Stepping through the defense is Phillips. He came up short.
Now the Chancellor settling in here.
Here's a three. Missed. Luna Akalu got the rebound. They set up now in the corner.
These second chance opportunities, Arenas wants to take advantage for sure.
Brown draws a defensive assignment on Arenas. Slapping at it. 17 to shoot into the double team. Going to shoot over the double team. It's long, but right there to clean it up is Eric Kruger. 8 points for a guy who averages 4 a game. And that'll lead to a break in the action. Immediate timeout here at the 3:24 mark. We are all knotted up at 34. Boys Division II state championship game from Sacramento. .324 to go third quarter play. Chatsworth has wiped out a 4-point halftime deficit. Got a 9-2 advantage in second chance points. And you see 10 assists, 14 made field goals. Arenas 16 of the 34 points. Not quite 50%. And he's 4 away from reaching 3,000 for his career. And again, look at Jesuit with all the helpers and dimes as well. And it helps when you make half your 3-point shots.
There you go. 2 cohesive, connected, well-coached teams. One thing to keep an eye on, 9-2 Chancellors, as Tim Kelly's probably well aware, in second chance points. So Coach Harris is like, listen, let's attack the offensive glass if we can. That could be a differentiator for Chatsworth.
Tim Kelly told us this week this team represents the school well, although they don't pass the eye test, really. They got a lot of different guys that do things well. Their leading scorer is Mason Phillips with 10, and Schrader only has 3, and he was a 2-time all-tournament selection of the Classic at Damien in December the last 2 years.
Yeah, one of these squads that you're not going to get nervous seeing them at the airport, but on the floor, they make you pay. McKinney.
About Mari McKinney. Wow. Developing into, he's been in the program for 4 years, but his first year really seeing some playing time.
You'd love to see that, the development.
Yeah, that was almost second chance points, 10 and 11, but Arenas couldn't finish. Jesuit has possession, has a 1-possession lead. McKinney into the corner. Phillips rises up for an open 3 in the corner, and he makes it. 13 for Mason Phillips.
The precocious freshman getting it done on the big stage. This kid is Cool as a cucumber, number 5 in white.
Tim Kelly said we're easing him in. Oh, yeah, sure. You're really easing him in. He was sandbagging us, huh?
From the frying pan into the fire with Phillips. And he's coming out looking like $1 million.
That turned out to be a pretty darn good hand injury for everybody but Shahib Randhawa, who lost his starting job as a result of it. But if he's a team player, which I'm sure he is, he loves what Phillips has done. Phillips took his spot in the starting lineup, the freshman. There's a step-back jumper missed. Phillips, offensive rebound, gets another one, and gets a better look this time, and sticks it for points 14 and 15.
Yeah, Phillips is just oozing confidence right now. He's digging in on the defensive end. He's got the hand clap going. Next thing you know, he's going to slap the floor and get a defensive position here.
Here's Arenas pulling up straight away. 3 is good, and he's 2 points shy. Making 1 point shy of 3,000. 2,999 career points. 19 in this game. 41-37 Jesuit.
On the schoolyard, Jesuit rang the phone and Arenas answered it.
That was the biggest lead of the game for Jesuit, cut in half in 1 shot. That in the paint is well done by Asher Schrader, right on cue. We're talking about where is your workhorse? There he is, got 5.
Relocating offensively, finding a gap in the zone for an open, short jumper. Well done.
He can score at all 3 levels. Arenas throws it inside. Great defensive play there. 50-50 ball, a block by Schrader. He touched it last and staying with the Chancellors.
Now we get a good look at Phillips, the young freshman. Great dish by McKinney. The closeout is late. Phillips ready to shoot it. And again, here he is on the offensive glass. The persistence, the tenacity, the effort, getting it done.
No hesitation whatsoever. Final 20 seconds of this 3rd quarter. Jesuit led by 4 at the break. They lead by 6 now. Arenas misfire. That would have got him over the 3,000 mark, and there's a foul with 9.1 to go.
The circuitous Byzantine road to Sacramento. Jesuit closer geographically. Up 6, under 10 seconds to go as the Chancellors inbound. Baseline.
Here's Arenas. Got to get rid of it here. Gets it over to Miller, who hits a big 3 and makes it a 3-point game heading to the 4th. He just cut the lead in half with a big 3. A kid that averages 9 points a game. Enrolled this fall at Chatsworth, and that enrollment is paying off. On to the 4th we go. Boys Division II state championship game. 3-point lead for Jesuit. Jesuit, their campus is 12 miles away from here. They have got a 3-point lead heading to the 4th. Marauders are here for the 3rd time. They've never won a state championship. They've lost both games. Ironically, Jesuits' 2 state title game losses came to LA City section powerhouse Crenshaw in back-to-back years, 93 and 94 at the Oakland Coliseum. Here they are again against an LA City section team. Forget about how good Westchester was, too. I talked about Crenshaw and Fairfax. Got to put Westchester in, Ed Azam, all those teams. And that's a foul, and to the line is going to go Arenas. That's on Asher Schrader, and here we go. Oh, they didn't say that was a shooting foul. Beg your pardon? Not a shooting foul. I fell for it, the refs didn't. And a takeaway. That's the first turnover of the second half for Chatsworth. They didn't turn it over in the 3rd quarter, if you can believe that. Meantime, Jesuit with only 1 turnover in the 3rd quarter, 2 the entire game.
Yeah, both teams were playing with great poise in the 3rd stanza. Jesuit 17% from the floor in the 1st quarter, 61% since.
Straight away, the stealthy senior shooter's got a huge 3, stretching the lead out to 6.
Head coach Tim Kelly told us about Brown's prowess at the big moments, draining shots from downtown.
A miss there by Arenas. Got 19 as the McDonald's All-American headed to USC. Averages a little over 30 a game. This will be his final high school game as he reclassed up and is off to USC. 1 point away from 3,000 career points. Back out Brown, looking to go back-to-back, misfired, and a rebound taken there by Elijah Miller.
Big rebound by Miller.
Uh-oh, it's that Kruger fella again. He's got 8 off the bench. The bench scoring favors the Chancellors of Chatsworth 12-6. That's what's kept him in this game. Here's Phillips. He's been fantastic with 15.
Chancellor's back in man-to-man defense. They've been mixing it up.
Looking to take their biggest lead of the game. They've been up by as many as 7. Fall away jumper, and it's good and pure by Asher Schrader. He's got 7. Biggest lead of the game for Jesuit of 8.
Looks like Gordon Hayward with the step back by Schrader.
That's a good comp. I think you purchased NBA League Pass before. This shot. All of a sudden, Elijah Arenas was 5 for his first 8, but the shots aren't falling for the McDonald's All-American. Chance to take a double-digit lead for Jesuit. That would put Chatsworth in a big hole. Remember, they lost on this floor in Division 4 last year to Monterey. And there's going to be a foul here on Miller and a timeout.
See now, Jesuit, here's Brown. Senses the space, drains it top of the circle, and Schrader, great one-on-one, still work that time, the step back. And Steve, see what happens is, when you're shooting a high percentage, 61% since you started at 17%, it's a great boon for your defense, because Chatsworth is taking the ball out of the net.
Yeah.
They're not getting any easy looks. They're not getting looks in transition. But now the question becomes, can you finish? You know the Chancellors here, they throw some 2-2-1, 1-2-2 full court pressure. They really haven't gotten into Jesuit yet to see how they can handle the rest with your best defense. So we'll see how this plays out, but it'll be an intriguing chess match over the final 5:28 with the Marauders with an 8-point cushion.
Quick correction, there was no foul. It was just in front of us and all the hustle and bustle. Jesuit called the timeout, so they'll have 3 left. Both teams have 3 left. Phillips with the inbound goes into Williams. Brown has it. Brown a little crossover. 3 to shoot. Gets it off to Schrader, who launches and misses. Arenas grabs the rebound. His 7th. Streaking down the floor, and he's fouled. They get Mason Phillips.
Just a great job by Arenas defensive glass. Such a prolific scorer and a great two-way player, emerging as a defensive force as well.
And here's an opportunity for 3,000 career points if he makes this one. Announcer jinx number 7 this year, and I'll see you on Awful Announcing Monday morning for about the 7th time this year. Here we go, another shot at 3,000. A miss, and Una Akalu with an offensive rebound, he gets fouled.
Great job, by the way, Steve, by this officiating crew. Amadou Sarah, David Vieira, and Drew Spooner. You mentioned earlier, of course, Drew Spooner, the son of Bill Spooner, longtime NBA.
Oh, interesting. A miss, but taken right out of the air by the volleyball player, Taj Una Akalu. He gets almost 12 rebounds a game and nearly 4 blocks. He has 8 rebounds now. And second chance points have helped big time. 14-4 advantage there. Second chance points for the Chancellors, who are within 6.
Major factor in Una Akalu, a big part of that.
McKinney up and under with the left hand.
That's the skill work that you don't see, like Professor Sylvia Duckworth, the iceberg illusion. You see the finished product, you don't see the work in the off-season, the diligence, the early morning workouts, the skill work. McKinney getting it done.
He's got 13. Lead is back to 8. Elijah Arenas was calling for it, kind of open there. Here's a 3 they need. It's long, but hey, you can miss like that when you got 21 under there. Una Akalu.
Una Akalu is a recipient scorer. Right now, he is capitalizing on the field goal percentage woes of the Chancellors. Like you said, Steve, it's no problem. He's cleaning things up.
Yep. He's got 8 points, 9 rebounds. Schrader with a move on Arenas and a foul.
Now, we said earlier about this kid Schrader. Playing hard in the NBA is a skill, and Schrader is that personified for Tim Kelly and the Marauders.
And here's Schrader to the line. He's had a really good second half. 7 points, 4 rebounds, 2 assists, a block, and 2 steals. Playing with 3 personal fouls. Greatest strength, his coach says, he plays hard. He sets the tone for the team, and I think you just saw it right there on that play, right?
Absolutely. We had the step back by Schrader earlier. And again, he, Brown, McKinney. That's not a law firm, by the way. Schrader, Brown, and McKinney. It could be one day, but right now they're the pillars of this Jesuit program. Seniors.
1 and 2. Stretches the lead out to 6. 3 minutes and 40 seconds remaining in the 4th. Boys Division II state title game from Sacramento. It's coming down to the wire. Crunch time in Sacramento, and the guy stepping up is, of all people, a 6'3" freshman guard by the name of Mason Phillips.
Okay, Phillips has got game. Are you kidding me? The freshman playing comp who collected 15 points, 3 of 5 from downtown, 4 of 8 overall, 4 of 4 from the free throw line, scoring in all thirds. put-back fashion from 3 in the mid-range, getting it done in a major way. Phillips, you know, we asked all the coaches, who's the wild card player that can make a difference to push you to a state title? And tonight, it's been Phillips, but hey, we got a lot of basketball in front of us here. Let's not get ahead of ourselves.
Yeah, Nikki, what you got?
Coach Kelly, very calm and composed in that Jesuit huddle, saying, hey guys, 1 possession at a time, stop and score. Remember, we have 3 timeouts. Anything dicey, grab the ball and call one.
Thank you, Nikki. That was Miller with that last bucket. Needed that.
Yeah, absolutely. Miller's really scored, Steve. You're on it. And Jones is at the chance who really needed it.
Oh, a takeaway. And Miller streaking down the floor. Looking for Arenas. Arenas. Ball loose. Jesuit gets it. Brown comes away with it. Sam Harris pleading for a foul.
Yeah, it certainly looked like Arenas was fouled on that attempt, but no call, no choice but to move on, play on.
Here's Brown, dumps it inside, Schrader, throwback is good on the baseline.
Now, I don't know if Arenas has a situation with his hand or not. Hopefully he's okay. It looks like he is. I thought that was the reason for the stoppage.
Yeah. 53-46. 2:38 to go. Arenas wants to conserve some time. Phillips came up to challenge. Arenas fires it up. Missed back iron. Gets it back to Arenas. Goes downhill. Lost the handle. But there's Una Akalu again to bail him out. He'll go to the line.
Now, this is classic QB Brown coaching 101. Can you get your best players high percentage shots in their best areas against any defense as we get a look at Arenas? Now, he's frustrated at this juncture, but of course, Coach Harris is going to go to him repeatedly.
Yep.
And Ona Akalu has been all over the offensive glass for the Chancellors. And we're seeing Coach Kelly do it for Jesuit, with Schrader, with Phillips, with Brown, with his main guys as well.
Una Akalu's brother played at Chatsworth. He's got a high arc on that free throw. He didn't play hoops as a freshman. He didn't like the sport. And then he had 1 foot in, 1 foot out, but he's been all in the last 2 years. He got 9 points, 10 rebounds. And here's a whistle and a foul in the front court.
Now, this is the full court pressure we talked about earlier, Steve, that now we're seeing from Chatsworth. And again, if you're Jesuit with this 6-point lead, expect contact, don't expect a whistle, don't expect to get bailed out. That pressure's got to be an invitation for a dunk at the other end. Meanwhile, Chatsworth looking to turn you over, create easy offense, and cut the deficit.
Chatsworth running out of time. They lost by 8 in this building to Monterey last year. Inside to Phillips from Brown. Phillips has 17 as a freshman. Here's Arenas, pull up, missed front iron. He's got tired legs, huh? And Schrader, and a foul. The Jesuit fans come to their feet inside the Golden One Center. They can feel it.
Coach Kelly has these guys playing at a high level. That flex cut has been so effective. It's been an absolute conundrum for the Chancellors to defend.
8-point game. No foul there on a near decapitation of Brandon Williams. Oh, look at Schrader go to work. They hit a 3 here or even a bucket, the house is going to come down, folks. Thrown inside, and there's another decapitation, and this time the foul is called. They're telling the youngster Phillips just relax. Solomon Torres the foul.
Yeah, so listen, there's nothing untoward there. It's just good hard basketball. And you know, it almost looked like Williams had shuffled his feet there. but a foul ball on the, I believe it looks like it's going to be baseline out of bounds. This foul ball may have occurred before the field goal attempt. Now, one of the things to keep in mind, in the college game, the shooting motion starts with the upward shooting motion of the arms and hands. So it's virtually impossible to start that upward motion without first completing a jump stop and planting that last foot before. Sometimes, you know, in live action, it looks like a foul on a field goal attempt. But anyway, so Jesuit inbounding, up 8, 1:37 to go. Okay, so from that standpoint, in the Chancellor's huddle, it'll be a side out of bounds, it looks like. Anyway, so what you've got to do here is defend in a big way. You're almost in a situation where you've got to foul to extend this thing, just due to the clock being as much of a factor and your opponent as Jesuit is at this juncture for Chatsworth.
Elijah Arenas, the McDonald's All-American, is 0 for his last 6. He had 2 big misses from the free throw line as well. You can see he's tired, maybe pushing it a little bit. And let's see, in the last 1:37.
A lot of time here, a lot of time. And certainly Jesuit has done a great job, Steve, of making Arenas work for his points. And he's got 19 on 20 field goal attempts. They've thrown multiple bodies at him through the zone.
Timeout by Jesuit. They had 3 left, and so they'll use one here with 1:37 to go.
That's good reporting by Nikki. She told us that Coach Kelly told the squad, we've got the timeouts, use them if you feel like you're jammed up.
Both teams have 4 fouls apiece, so the next one will put them at the limit.
And the other thing you're doing here, Steve, is you are switching everything but the channel on Spectrum Sportsnet, right?
Yeah.
So for Chatsworth, you cannot allow an easy basket here. You cannot allow to get beat. Also, be cognizant of something over the top alley-oop fashion for McKinney. So again, you want to defend the three-point line where Jesuit has been so strong, and we know who those culprits are, right? Think about Phillips, Williams, Brown, even Schrader, and then Schrader in the mid-range as well as McKinney alley-oop style. You cannot allow that if you're the Chatsworth Chancellor.
Chatsworth down 8, 1:37 to go. Can they pull out the miracle? Inbound goes to Brown. Remember, Jesuit just hadn't turned it over but 3 times this entire game. And there's a little shove afterwards by Miller on the freshman Phillips. No call. It's going to be Jesuit basketball. They'll keep it. Only 3 turnovers for Jesuit. 1 in the first half, 1 in the third quarter, and 1 in the fourth quarter, and that's it. Into Brown, and they're going to whistle a foul on Solomon Torres. Coach Harris wanted the turnover. You be the judge.
Yeah, officiating is a very tough job. And there was a play at the end of the Wisconsin game today where they defeated Michigan State on a clean strip. Brown capitalizing at the free throw line.
May go down 10 here with 1:27 to go. They can feel it. Jesuits never won a boys basketball state championship. There it is, a 10-point advantage for Jesuit. Their biggest lead of the game comes in the perfect time, 1:27, huh?
Yes, Jesuit 7 of 8 from the free throw line. That has been clutch for the Marauders.
And the mid-range is good out of the hands of Takeo Phillips.
Big bucket by Phillips.
Matt Phillips has 5 points. Timeout, Chancellors with 1:14 to go. Down 8.
Yeah, so now you're in full denial mode. We see here Arenas so magnanimous, right? The guy's on the verge of 3,000, gives it to Phillips, puts it to the deck. Great short corner jumper. Now, for Coach Harris, what he's saying in this huddle is, we're man-to-man. We're switching everything. Do not get beat long. We cannot afford to give up a long transition basket here. Ideally, what we're getting is a strip and a score. Keep everything in front of you and put the heat on these guys. Plenty of time left. Minute 14, 1 possession at a time. Now what Coach Kelly is saying is expect the heat. Do not expect a whistle to bail you out. We've seen these referees be consistent in letting these guys play, so you're not going to get bailed out. And like anything else, officiating is like the weather. When it's hot, you wear your shorts. When it's chilly, you put on your sweater. But you've got to be strong with it. Let's embrace this pressure as an invitation for a dunk at the other end. That's what we're doing right here.
Can you imagine from 3-3, as you had mentioned, to start the year to perhaps winning your first ever championship game? Coach Kelly says, I love coaching this team. We're nobody's therapist, the coaching staff. The parents are all great. Like to reward them with the school's first ever championship. Campus is 12 miles away. Brown to Phillips, the freshman. He spins, and Phillips. There's a foul, an offensive foul on Phillips, which goes as a turnover.
Get a good look at it here. Phillips under duress, the freshman. Good call by the officials with the hooks. Now remember, Jesuit had Andrej Stojakovic, Scion of Peja, who's now toiling for Cal, went for 37 the other night at a loss to Stanford, where he started his collegiate career back in the day. The last time they were here, it was Isaac Fontaine, who later started at Washington State.
That's 7 consecutive misses from the field for Arenas, and they're going to call a foul instead of a tie-up. Boy, Arenas' last field goal came at the 1:12 mark of the third quarter.
Yeah, they've done a great job defending Arenas. You know, one thing that won't show up in the box score, on that rebound attempt, Brown did a great job. He couldn't control the basketball, but he tipped it to Schrader, who secured the rebound. Great job by the Marauders.
Here's Schrader. 54.8 to go. One more puts him back up 10, where they were at the 127 mark, which was their biggest lead of the game. And he got them both.
Jesuit 9 of 10 from the charity stripe.
And there's a steal of all people. It's Phillips. And it's a 12-point advantage. Oh, the freshman is 19. Putting it up is Arenas, and he's going to go to the line here.
Phillips has been absolutely scintillating for the Marauders. The freshman rising to the occasion. 19 points, 6 of 10 from the floor. 4 rebounds, 2 assists.
Well, there it is. 3,000 career points for the LA City Section's all-time leading scorer, past his dad, who's 5th. But it might be too little too late. And again, you got to go back to the 1:12 mark of the third quarter for the last time he made a field goal. Next stop will be USC.
Yeah, you run out of superlatives to describe Arenas' game. Tremendous talent.
Got 22, 8 off his scoring average. An average of 30 points, 7.4 rebounds, 4 assists, 2 steals, and that's why he's a McDonald's All-American.
And this Jesuit squad, the triumvirate of seniors, Schrader, Brown, McKinney, the 3-3 start. Tim Kelly with the ability to get this squad to congeal, to gel. What a season, what a job.
Arenas is going to end 14th all-time with the most points scored in California's CIF history. And he'll eclipse 3,000. He's the 16th guy to do it. A spot ahead of him is T.J. Leaf of Foothills High School, El Cajon. How about those Leaf brothers? Over 6,000 between Troy and TJ. Not quite going to get there. And there's a foul on the drive. 62-52 with 30.7 to go.
And Ronnie Flores from Cal High Sports providing that list, and a illustrious list.
And of course the list changed. It was DeMarcus Nelson was number 1. He played it to Vallejo and then Sheldon of Sacramento. He had the record for about 21 years, and then this year Tunde Yesufu from St. Joseph High School in Santa Maria became the all-time leading scorer in the state of California. There's some good names on the list, though. You got Yesufu, you got Casey Jacobson, our old friend, Aaron Holiday, Tracy Murray, TJ Leaf, who was a first-round draft pick, went to UCLA, a one-and-done, played with the Pacers for a while. And Elijah Arenas, the next guy to reach 3,000.
Yeah, it's an incredible accomplishment. Rarefied air, the company that Arenas is keeping.
And then, look, here's the most points in the LA City section again, thanks to Ronnie Flores, Cal High Sports. Arenas over 3,000. Then you got Dion Green, 95 to 98 at Los Angeles High. Danny Walker, Westchester. Dwayne Poley Sr., not junior, went to San Diego State. LA Manual Arts, 78 through 81. Fifth on that list, Gilbert Arenas, sitting across from us. 2,124 at Grant High School in Van Nuys before Lute Olson got his hands on him. I covered him when he was a youngster my last year working at the CBS in Tucson. And he had these braces, and he couldn't get 2 words out of them. Now he's got like a great podcast. There's a steal. That's a fitting end.
Jesuit knows the third time's going to be a charm.
Total team effort. 4 in double figures. Here's Brown.
What can Brown do for you?
He can bring you home your first ever state championship, huh? And you don't need any tracking code for that.
Absolutely not. Party, you're all over it. Here's Arenas exiting.
Tremendous career. 3,002 career points for the McDonald's All-American, and did it in 3 years again. 17 years old, reclassified up from a junior to a senior. And I think a timeout called here to empty the bench, probably. Sam Harris. 12-point game, fait accompli with 24.6 to go. We'll see.
And like you said, Steve, with Arenas, it's mind-boggling. His production over 3 years, and of course, as prolific as he is as a high school player, his best basketball in front of him at USC for Coach Musselman. And of course, for Jesuit, one of the historic milestones for the school to get it done. And again, in a team that maybe not as talent-laden as past squads, but the cohesion, playing not just with each other, but for each other. Getting not a good shot, not getting your shot, getting our shot. And again, each player making sacrifices for his own game, for the betterment of the overall success of the program, culminating in this win at the downtown Sacramento edifice, the Golden One Center, home of the Kings.
Jesuit has parlayed 9 Chatsworth turnovers into 16 points. Meantime, Chatsworth just has 4 points off a turnover. Jesuit does not turn it over, and one of their few turnovers happened to be an offensive foul. Right? They only turned it over 4 times. 25% of those came on an offensive foul. And there's Arenas, his dad sitting across from him.
Yeah, when you don't turn it over, shoot a high percentage. That's a good recipe offensively.
Brown, an outgoing senior with a championship, has a dozen points. Final seconds of this one. Shot clock is off. Again, Chatsworth with some of their subs in right now. Just dribbling it out here. And Jesuit, for the first time in school history, is state champions. That's going to be one heck of a 12-mile bus ride back. Might not even have to pop on the freeway, huh, at this hour?
Absolutely. Why not make it the parade? Take the local route. Go up J Street.
Hey, you know what? I was walking through Old Town Sacramento, and they were having the St. Patrick's Day parade today. Maybe this team can get on the end of it right there, ride the train through or the fire truck through.
You go J Street to Fair Oaks Boulevard, make the right on Jacob Lane. And a great season, of course, for Chatsworth as well. Didn't end the way they wanted to, of course. The Marauders, they did a great job. We said it early, leverage the home crowd and contain arenas. Well done on both counts by Coach Kelly, his staff. And this freshman, Phillips, was absolutely prodigious.
Yeah.
19 points.
All right, here's Nikki, who's got the freshman and his head coach.
I'm joined now by Mason. Mason, at the beginning of the season, you weren't a starter. You just led your team in scoring with 19 points to win a state championship. What did this game feel like for you?
It felt so good. All my guys, we worked so hard. I'm so proud of these guys, man. I'm down to go anywhere with these guys. And coach, great coach tonight. Way to coach. I love it.
Coach, you told us this team is a whole that's greater than the sum of its parts. Now this team is state champions. What's so special about this group?
Listen, they're great teammates. They're coachable. They do everything, every challenge that we put in front of them, they've tried their best to meet. They like each other. They're just bought in. They're a special group.
And a special trio of seniors. What can you say about the men who led you guys to this point?
Those guys are great, man. They've been leading us all year. They play so hard every game. It's great. They're great leaders.
You've been part of Jesuit for a long time. First time in school history, you're bringing home the crown. What does this mean to this community?
It's a great basketball community. I mean, look at all the people in the stands here. It's great. It's just a really cool for these guys to write their own chapter in this long history of our school.
The chapter has been written in history books. Now you guys get to go celebrate. Congratulations, Jesuit.
Thank you so much.
4 in double figures led by the freshman Mason Phillips. 13 for McKinney. Brown and Schrader with 12 apiece. I guess the best move they had was getting rid of you as a volunteer. Oh, they got their first ever state championship since parting company with my partner. 22 for Elijah Arenas, who ends with 3,002 career points. The McDonald's All-American will play next year at USC. For our great crew, Nikki Kay, Bill Horrenda, my name is Steve Quiss. We will talk to you for the Girls Open Division Championship game coming up in about 20 minutes. Jesuit gets their first ever state championship as they take down Chatsworth. Good afternoon, everybody.
Number 24, Samuel Kohler. Number 25, Sean Rimmer. And number 34, Gabriel Barrett. And now, the presentation of the CIF Award to head coach Sam Harris of the Chatsworth.